Stop what you're doing because this isn't your average drama. This is a full-on paternity mess involving designer shoes, iced-out chains, and years of lies unraveling. Kirk Frost. Yes, the same Kirk who always promised he was a changed man and smiled through those family dinners at Frost Bistro, has just been confirmed by a DNA test to be the soon-to-be father of Renni Rucci's child. That's right. And now the internet is buzzing not just over the baby news, but over whether Rasheeda knew it was coming or if she was completely blindsided. According to recent court leaks, not only is the DNA test legit, but Rasheeda has taken things to a whole new level. She's filed a lawsuit that's said to be so intense that even Mona Scott Young allegedly didn't want any part of it. We're talking about frozen assets, emotional damages, reputation loss, and a big public statement from Rasheeda that says she's done holding back. So the question isn't whether Kirk is the father, it's how long people around them knew and why. Renni stayed so relaxed while the bomb was about to explode. This situation isn't based on rumors or he said she's games. It's fact-based. He cheated, she got pregnant, and now Rasheeda is in court with a stack of documents thicker than Kirk's list of past mistakes. And the worst part? She's got receipts. Actual lab-verified DNA results with Kirk's name, printed clearly at the top. That's what flipped the switch from gossip to legal action. Let's take it back not to the very beginning, because that would mean rewinding to when Kirk's cheating scandals were still fresh and the drama lived on flip phones, but to the moment when things really changed. Remember the day Renni announced she was pregnant and hinted that Kirk was the father? The internet exploded. Gossip pages couldn't keep up. Meanwhile, Rasheeda stayed quiet. A little too quiet. But behind the scenes, she was already taking action. She had her legal team lined up, digging into everything that smelled suspicious. She had noticed the weird patterns: late nights at the studio, blocked calls, work trips that just happened to take Kirk to the same cities where Renni was performing. It didn't take much to connect the dots. Rasheeda had even been dropping cryptic messages online. Posts like "loyalty folds under pressure" and "he'll lie until the test tells the truth." At the time, people thought she was just being philosophical. In reality, she was building her case quietly while fans were making jokes and memes. Then came the official documents. A source from the VH1 set, someone who might have also worked craft services, claimed that Rasheeda's legal team received the DNA results 3 days before Renni's public post. The test was conducted discreetly at a private lab in Buckhead, and yes, Kirk's results came back at 99.97%. In short, he's the dad. But instead of having a private discussion with Kirk, Rasheeda went ealing legally. She didn't just file for emotional pain, she listed every dollar she spent supporting him. From their restaurant to his hairline fixes and even that flashy Rolex he supposedly gifted Renni. Turns out that watch might have been purchased using their shared business account. The lawsuit was filed in Fulton County and includes claims for emotional humiliation, misuse of joint assets, and improper gifting of property owned by both of them. She even included spiritual betrayal in the paperwork, saying Kirk destroyed her peace. That part alone had social media in shock. And honestly, considering everything, it's understandable. What makes it worse is that Kirk saw it coming. People from the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta crew warned him multiple times that his relationship with Renni was getting too messy and turning off sponsors. And how did he respond? He walked into the reunion show hand in hand with Renni, wearing a custom jacket that read "D&D DNA not denied." He wore the results like a badge of honor while Rasheeda was in the background going over a lawsuit that could ruin him financially and professionally. As expected, when this hit the blog's reactions were split. Some fans stood by Rasheeda, saying she supported Kirk for years and didn't deserve this kind of betrayal. They encouraged her to go after everything, even his eyebrows. Others were just enjoying the chaos, joking that the entire thing felt scripted by Mona or generated by AI in a simulated world. Then there were a few people trying to defend Kirk, claiming he had the right to move on. And Rasheeda wasn't perfect either, but most people weren't buying it. This wasn't a regular breakup. This was betrayal with receipts and Renni. She acted like nothing happened. Not classy calm, but more like social media petty. She posted selfies with captions like, "mad at the baby but laid with the man," and "I'm not the side chick. I'm the last straw. DNA doesn't lie." She tried to flip the story, but no one was falling for it. While Renni was busy posting mirror pics, Rasheeda was taking serious steps toward legal and emotional freedom. She wasn't just trying to punish Kirk, she was protecting her peace and her future. And what about Kirk? Sources say he didn't expect Rasheeda to hit back this hard. He thought they would talk, cry, and move on like before. But this time, she froze their joint accounts, blocked him from their shared businesses, and reportedly told her assistant to collect every single invoice tied to his name. Since 2011, she's not playing. She's going after everything from the past, not just this recent mistake. Kirk's team has been trying to catch up ever since. His PR person released a short, boring statement asking for privacy and saying Kirk wanted to resolve things peacefully. But at this point, that statement doesn't hold much weight. The damage is done, and Rasheeda isn't letting it slide this time. While everything was already boiling, Rasheeda decided to pour more fuel on the fire by posting a boomerang of her lawyer closing a briefcase with the caption, "Private. Nah, we public now, baby." That alone got people talking again. But what followed next completely flipped the situation. If you thought the DNA results were the peak, what just surfaced makes those look like a minor inconvenience. It's no longer a matter of who said what. It's now recorded. A leaked audio clip, raw and unfiltered, allegedly caught Renni Rucci speaking to her cousin on FaceTime. In the clip, Renni says, "Yeah, we both knew it was risky, but Kirk said if it came out, he'd protect me." Then she adds something even heavier. She says the baby wasn't planned, but once the DNA results were released, everything changed, like it became a green light to go public. That means this wasn't just a mistake or accidental pregnancy. It was something that was being kept under wraps until they had no choice but to acknowledge it. That changes the whole story. This wasn't just two people sneaking around. This was something more deliberate, involving secrecy, planned meetings, and deals to keep things quiet until it all came crashing down. As soon as this audio got out, Rasheeda's legal team wasted no time, thanks to a janitor at the courthouse, who somehow got their hands on the latest court papers. We now know that her lawyers filed an updated version of the lawsuit and the new charges: conspiracy to deceive a spouse, financial fraud during their separation, and psychological harm from pre-planned betrayal. That last one, premeditated betrayal, is an actual legal term now being used in this case. Even more, Rasheeda's team is now demanding access to Renni's phone records, texts, and call history from the last 6 months. Why? Because if it turns out Kirk and Renni were scheming behind Rasheeda's back while she still thought the marriage was in repair mode, then this turns into marital fraud. That would mean Kirk not only cheated, but he may have illegally moved or used money that belonged to both him and Rasheeda's, something that could cost him millions in damages. Speaking of money, let's talk about how Kirk allegedly used their business resources like his own personal piggy bank. Word is, he charged over $18,000 in hotel stays booked under the name K. Rivers to a Frost Bistro-linked credit card. He also paid for Renni's studio sessions using company money and bought jewelry tagged as brand expenses, even though the receipts clearly show size 6.5 rings and a custom anklet. That's not promoting the business, that's boyfriend behavior. On the company tab, Rasheeda's fans online have gone full detective mode. Reddit threads are pulling apart old Renni Instagram stories. And one eagle-eyed user noticed a man's reflection in a wine glass behind Renni. The bald head, the earring, the forehead scar, it matched Kirk. Exactly. People flooded the comments saying things like, "Bro, that's Kirk's left ear. I can tell. Rasheeda deserves more." And now she's armed with the proof. Now let's take a second to look at VH1's role in all this. Mona Scott-Young, the executive producer known for turning the smallest drama into multi-part specials, has said absolutely nothing. No posts, no teasers, no comments. Insiders claim Mona is in emergency meetings with legal advisors to figure out whether they can even air the footage involving Kirk and Renni before all this went public. Because if it turns out producers knew about the affair and kept it hidden, to stretch out a storyline or keep the show juicy, they might face legal trouble too. That's right, civil conspiracy laws could pull the whole production team into this legal mess. Producers were reportedly told months ago by crew members that Kirk was sneaking around with Renni in between filming. Instead of stepping in, they allegedly just kept rolling the cameras, trying to turn real-life damage into good TV. And now, they might have to answer for it. As for Kirk, he's reportedly not handling this well. A source claiming to be his former stylist says he's missed several filming days. When he did show up, he refused to remove his sunglasses and kept repeating, "She set me up." Meanwhile, Rasheeda is still pushing forward. According to new filings, she's now asking the court to stop Kirk from receiving any future profits tied to their businesses, including the reality show, the restaurant, and his workout app until the case is settled. If the judge agrees, Kirk could lose access to all those revenue streams immediately. No VH1 checks, no Frost Bistro income, nothing. That would hit him hard. Meanwhile, Renni is thriving in the chaos. She's posted a video in a black dress, cradling her belly, with a caption that said, "Y'all can't handle what's growing in me. Power." Twitter exploded. One person joked she was acting like she was carrying a superhero baby. Another wrote, "I hope Rasheeda sees the glow off that ring light." And during a recent Instagram live, someone asked Renni if her actions were based on love or revenge. She looked directly at the camera, smiled, paused, and said, "Sometimes the best revenge comes wrapped in a diaper." That line alone sent social media into a frenzy. People were calling her a villain in a Fashion Nova jumpsuit, comparing her to Thanos with lip gloss. So here's where everything stands now. The DNA test proves Kirk is the father. Rasheeda has filed for emotional and financial damages. The leaked audio confirms that the pregnancy was never supposed to be only came out after the DNA results forced their hand. VH1 might have known about this for months. Mona Scott is dead silent, and Kirk is mentally falling apart while Rasheeda is trying to block him from every shared dollar. Renni is basking in the attention, posting cryptic quotes and doubling down on the drama, but just when we thought it couldn't get any more intense, another person has stepped forward. Someone new has entered the mix. Someone who claims that Renni is lying about the pregnancy altogether. Yep, another twist. This person is apparently ready to bring receipts of their own and might be able to unravel everything. Just when you thought Kirk was at his lowest and Rasheeda was gaining full control, a new plot twist arrives, turning the entire story upside down once again. While Renni was still out here glowing and flaunting her baby bump in every other post, the internet was hit with another shockwave this time. Not from Rasheeda or Kirk, but from someone even closer to Renni. Out of nowhere, a woman claiming to be Renni's own cousin went live on TikTok. No filter, no wig, and clearly no NDA. She looked nervous, hands trembling, but her voice was steady when she said, "I'm not staying quiet anymore." What came next had viewers scrambling for screenshots, rewinding the live and flooding social media with disbelief. She claimed that the entire pregnancy was fake. Her words were exact. "Renni told me from day one this was a setup. She ain't pregnant. Never was. It was all to get Kirk to commit, get clout, and ruin Rasheeda." People didn't want to believe it, but then the cousin, who later identified herself as started pulling out receipts. She had screenshots of messages between her and Renni, time-stamped texts, and even a blurry video of Renni laughing while holding what looked like a fake silicone baby bump. One of the texts read, "Don't worry, it's just for a few weeks. Once he files for divorce, we'll lose the baby and spin it." Another chilling message said, "This ain't about a kid, it's about getting what's mine." There was even a saved contact in Renni's phone labeled Dr. D, short for Dr. Digital, who, according to Siobhan, is someone known among influencers for creating realistic-looking fake ultrasound images. People were stunned. After all the drama, court filings, the DNA test, and leaked audio, was the entire thing a lie? If what Siobhan said was true, that would mean Kirk never took a paternity test. The child doesn't exist, and the whole legal battle Rasheeda launched was based on a total fabrication. The internet was in shambles. Renni's social media exploded. Her comments were flooded with angry fans. "You faked a pregnancy? Where's the bump now, sis?" Using motherhood for attention. The backlash was immediate and vicious. Meanwhile, Rasheeda's lawyers moved quickly. This new information could flip everything. If the pregnancy was faked, that means the DNA test might have been faked too, which opens the door to even bigger legal claims: fraud, defamation, emotional abuse, and maybe more. Kirk, who had been laying low in a rented Miami Airbnb, suddenly posted and quickly deleted a defensive IG story that read, "Y'all better stop playing with my name. I ain't signed no papers. I ain't take no test. Y'all being lied to." That post told us everything we needed to know. Either Kirk was also fooled, or he knew what was going on and just didn't expect it to blow up like this. But if Kirk thought Rasheeda was going to crawl into a corner and cry, he was wrong. She posted a photo with her legal team outside the courthouse. No glam, no filters, just her in fluorescent lighting, and a caption that read, "Don't need a baby to win a war. I got facts, I got witnesses, and I got a memory like a locked diary." That post alone went viral, and here's where things took another wild turn. Siobhan, the cousin, didn't stop there. She claimed this wasn't just Renni acting solo. According to her, Kirk and Renni planned the entire thing together. She said, "Kirk told Renni, if I say you're pregnant and you say I'm the dad, Rasheeda will flip. Once she's gone, we can own everything: the brand, the restaurants, the deals." Shaven claimed it was all about taking over the Frost empire and pitching a new spin-off called the Frost Empire Rebuilt. Let that sink in. A fake pregnancy, a rigged DNA test, and a planned media storm just to push Rasheeda out of the picture and launch their own reality show. It sounds unreal, but at this point, people didn't know what to believe anymore. Some fans started blaming VH1, claiming the entire drama was engineered for views. One alleged leak even included an audio clip where a producer told Renni, "If you want that season 13 contract, you better bring scandal not selfies." And Renni, she vanished. She deleted her Twitter, archived her pregnancy, and unfollowed Kirk. Her silence only fueled the theory that the cousin was telling the truth. Meanwhile, Kirk's lawyer issued a statement that read, "My client is the victim of an elaborate ruse and media manipulation. He never took a paternity test, nor agreed to any public